Pat Fusty, everyone's favorite monkey, is one of 2 heroes that can receive the carrier flagship buff, as only he and Brickle can be placed on water. But there's a myth that he can also get this buff on land. So, the natural place to start is on Flooded Valley, where we can drown Pat. If we place down a flagship on water and Pat on the land, we can see that Pat does not receive the buff, even when we fill the valley with water. But if we then sell and replace the carrier flagship, Pat does get the buff, and this gives us some valuable information. The first is that Pat Fusty can change between being a land and water tower, and the game updates this in real time. And the second is that the carrier flagship only updates its buff when sold and replaced. So, if we can somehow place Pat in the water, buff him with the carrier, and then move him to land, he should theoretically keep the buff. Luckily, we can easily do this with a support Chinook. And look at that, it worked just like we planned. Now this doesn't really have a place in chimps, but it could be used in boss runs where Ben is banned, or in some unique challenges. But just like that, the myth where he can get this buff on land has been confirmed. And a final weird interaction that I found during this process was that Pat Fusty, placed on Ice Monkey's platform, shows the animation of both being on land and in water, and is able to receive flagship buffs. But this one does make a little more sense, as both water and land towers can be placed in these areas.